it is important to realize that being a woman that has high standards is not truly about the food, the appetizers or drink. Do you know you can see this for yourself? If you were to look in the world of celebrity, you realize that those people go on 5-star dates all the time. They go and eat at 5-star meals all the time. But those men know these women don't have high standards. High standards, you relay these things by what you're willing to follow through with. It is not about your food. It is not about your drink. It is not about your appetizer. 21 years ago, I went on a date with a man. I went on a date with this man 21 years ago. I don't even remember what we ate, but I'm a country girl, raised and bred, a country girl. So there wasn't really high class restaurants surrounding us. But 21 years ago, I went on a date with a man. And what impressed me and showed me that he was one that I should consider was his values, his ability to support. We had similar background, and he was a gentleman. And then also, he showed his generosity from the very beginning. He showed that he didn't mind sharing what he had. Because he took me to dinner, which was of no name, no 5-star. I don't even remember what it included because it really didn't matter. What was important, he took me shopping on the very first date. I met that man 21 years ago, and that man today is my husband. And that man will always tell you that I always have high standards for every aspect of my life. I'm high maintenance overall, period. Because it doesn't have anything to do with eating or drinking or appetizer. We have to realize when we're talking about standards, it's about what you're willing to allow and what you're willing to follow through on. It's not about what 5-star restaurant you went to, because there's plenty of people going to 5-star restaurants and getting laid down at nighttime. There's plenty of people going on vacations and only thing they're doing or getting or receiving is sex. Standards is a whole different ball game. And I don't think we have an understanding of what that really means. Now, if you've taken one of my courses, then you know about standards. You know how to create them and you know how to enforce them. So I will be just regurgitating or reviewing information you already have. So, keep going and doing your boo, because you already got a leg up on all the other women who really truly believe that in the standard, it's just about food. It isn't. It isn't. I literally know in my circle it's different. I literally know a woman who went on a putt-putt golf date and ice cream and married to a multimillionaire. And it wasn't about the food. It wasn't about the putt-putt golf. It was about her conviction. It was about how she carried herself. It was about when she told him that this is how it's going to be, that is how it was. See, a lot of us don't understand what standards truly mean and how to enforce them. So we get distracted by all of the things that don't matter, because they don't. What truly matters is you following through. You want to be high maintenance? You want to have high standards? Be the woman that is difficult to get. That is how you do so. That is how you follow through. It is not about a 5-star restaurant. It is not about a coffee date. It truly isn't. And the thing is, even in that video, that young lady, she was lowballing herself. You can even tell by her demeanor and how she perceived it and how she gave us the information. She was lowballing herself. So she was just showing that she had low standards. And I realized that you all think it's about the coffee or the dinner. It's not. Any woman worth her salt will tell you it's not about the coffee or the dinner. I have a private group, a Pedestal wife group. Guess what? They date millionaires, rich men all the time. Some of them started off on a coffee date, because that isn't what showed that man that this woman is worth pursuing or has high standards or she's a high maintenance woman. What it is when I tell you that I won't have sex with you on the first night, I'm not having sex with you on the first night. When I tell you that you can't come to my house, you can't come to my house. Those are the things that matter. When you tell this man something, you follow through and you stand 10 toes down on what you told him. That is what matters. That is how you relay standards. That is how you relay being a high maintenance woman. It doesn't matter what you're giving. what he says, how he looks, how you feeling. You aren't doing it because you don't believe in it. That is high standards. That is high maintenance. That is a woman worth pursuing. And men know this. They know this. Do y'all realize that there are men out here who will easily take you a 5-star dinner and still don't respect you from a can of paint? Do y'all know that? Or do y'all realize that when it comes to this coffee or dinner thing, it is situational? If I was to say, hey, I have a millionaire over here and he only got time for a coffee, y'all turning down a coffee date from a multimillionaire. Don't say it ain't so. Don't say I have not encouraged a gold digger in your spirit that you're going to sit here and turn down a man who has money. So you need to get to know him. When you go on that coffee date, if you go on that coffee date, because guess what? Men are busy. Men that have a lot of money, a lot of resources, they busy. So yes, they may offer that to you, and guess what? You still don't have to take it. You still don't have to take it. You know why? Because when it comes down to it, we have to get into our mind that even if a man leads, even if a man comes up with ideas, even if a man is thinking, baby, you the neck. You make him move, or make him think that he thought of that, or make him think it's his idea, or make him think or want to go down the path that you want him to go down. That is the beautiful thing of being a feminine woman. So even if he's offering you, a millionaire, offering you a coffee date, do y'all know y'all can convert a coffee date to a dinner date? Do you know that you can convert a coffee date to a dinner date anytime? And if that person is still not want to do anything or don't have time for it, they'll plan something else or another time, or want to go with you another time. Happens all the time. Happens all the time, but you have to know how or what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with the dude you don't know from a can of paint, you don't know nothing about him, and then dinner date it is, right? Dinner date it is, absolutely. Dinner date it is. But we have to realize some things are situational. If you know that he is what he said, what you want, what you're looking, like you're looking for a guy that is able to support you, has resources, has assets, you shouldn't be turning that man down because he's saying, I don't have time but for a coffee. And if he says that, you could easily be like, well, Brianna and Sienna, y'all are getting on my nerves. I just started. Y'all already acting foolish. Why don't get online in the evening? Go ask Sean. Go ask Sean right quick. Like, tell him that I'm online right quick. Like, all right. I don't know. They don't mess up my train of thought. But when it comes down to it, it's not about the food. It's not about the drink. It's not about the appetizer. If you truly want to show standards, say what you mean and mean what you say. When you say this is how it's going to be, or you won't get access to this, make sure you're not going to give him access to it just because you like him or you feel something for him or you're attracted to him. Men understand the game. It's all of standards, baby, standards. And these things are situational, because you should not be turning aside a multimillionaire because of coffee. Not for coffee. Now, if you want to convert it and see if he's willing to give you dinner, it's easy. Hey, I would love to go for coffee, but coffee really makes me jittery, or it makes me sick. And around that time, normally I'm eating dinner. Easy. Converted it, what? A coffee date to a dinner. And usually if a man wants to be with you or he wants to pursue you, he'll change it to a dinner date. He'll change to a dinner date. But it's not about the drink. It's not about the food. It's none of those things is going to relate to a man that you have high standards. And we see that every single day when we see women, celebrities, going and being dined and wined at 5-star restaurants and going to hotels and exotic vacation and being treated like dirt by men. Because they have not been taught how to relate their standards. Some of you all think your standards are negotiable. Standards aren't negotiable. They're not. They're absolutely not. Instead of trying to make him understand or change his mind about the standards, move around. That is the best way. This is the best way. Go eat a sandwich for right now. Y'all silly. Go eat a sandwich for right now. Standards truly protect the woman. Absolutely. They sure do. They protect women from low vibrational situations and experiences in life. You have to figure out what they are. What standards do you have? The standards are not negotiable. It means just because you like someone, you could like them. You can absolutely feel like there's something there. You can actually feel like there's potential. But if you know that your standards will not be met in that relationship, then that is a no-go. That means you have to move around and leave that person alone. You have to start looking at your standards as something that cannot be taken back. That means it's not negotiable. This means he can't talk you out of them. It is something that you stand 10 toes down in. So true. Love it. Really do appreciate your knowledge and wisdom. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So it's not about the drinks. It's not about coffee. It's not about dinner. You have to realize and recognize there's been plenty of women that have went on a 5-star meal or 5-star restaurant, whatever, and they are still being mistreated. It is more about being that woman that is hard to get, that high maintenance, high standard woman. A lot of women don't realize the standards are your guidelines for life. And too many of you all are negotiating with that. That is the reason why you're not having success in relationships, because you're negotiating. You should never be negotiating your guidelines for your own life. Just because a person doesn't live up to those guidelines, they don't live up to those rules, they don't live up to those requirements, it is not your fault. And it is not your problem. You should not take it upon yourself to make it easier for that person, for them to be with you. Your entire challenge, your entire high maintenance, you're entirely too high value to be leaning down and accommodating other people. And that's what women are doing. So it goes beyond a coffee or a dinner. Have an understanding of standards. Learn how to convert one, especially